Hey guys, your boy Phat here, and wanted to try to do something new where talk about random shit I'm thinking about, or ideas, or concepts, or basically fucking anything that's on my mind. And today, I wanted to talk about organization and kind of like bettering your life. I guess, I mean, most simplest concept I could put in here. And they kind of just spring from the idea that, you know, there's a lot of shit that I've been wanting to do. You know, I've been wanting to do something like this where I kind of just talk and thoughts and ideas and shit like that. And then there's been shit where, like, you know, I rap, I'm an artist. Like, there's all these different outlets that I do. And then I play video games, and then there's like different types of games I'm playing. And it's basically been the fact that, like, I haven't been organizing my time properly. So I'm like, okay, well, let's make a schedule. And then initially when I made a schedule where it's like, okay, it's a schedule per day. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm like, 30 minutes of reading. I'm going to do like an hour working on rap. I'm going to draw this amount of time and shit like that. And I was setting up like little increments of time for different activities that I wanted to do and things that I wanted to get done, you know, throughout my day and week and shit like that. The problem with doing it per day, though, for me, was just the fact that it's like, you know, you can't predict what's going to happen every day. You can't be like, okay, Monday I'm definitely going to get this done, and this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. It's like, it's just, you know, okay, I work late this day, so I have less time, so I don't get to put the time that I need to put into that. I'm not getting off at the correct time here. I mean, you just can't predict a day-to-day thing. So then I started going into, like, okay, well, maybe I can, like, I came upon this concept of, like, okay, well, make a weekly goal. And then so as I started delving into this idea, I kind of, like, conceptualized how it should work, and it made a lot more sense. Like, this is the first week that I'm doing it, and this is the first thing kind of, like, on the list. Like, okay, I want to make, like, one video a week called Thinking with Phat, or Thinking with Phat Pat, about, you know, whatever the fuck's on my mind, because I'm always thinking about shit, you know, going through shit in my head, and it sucks to, like, you know, just keep it to yourself. So, okay, make a YouTube video, maybe one person watches it, maybe 1,000 people watch it, you know, whatever. And, you know, if I come across some ideas, and maybe, like, my ideas on then help somebody else, like in this instance, like, okay, making a schedule for your life, like, okay, well, that could help a lot of fucking people. A lot of people have trouble with, like, getting shit done, you know, they're anxious, or they, I don't know, they struggle with, like, they don't want to do something because they're afraid they're going to fail at it, or they don't think they have the time because they don't know how to, like, time manage or what. Like, you know, there's a lot of different things that this could help with. And then there's other things I could talk about, you know, we'll save that for another session. But to keep going with what I'm talking about here, in terms of, like, making goals, like, the idea that I had was, like, you want to make goals that are, like, if you're gonna start this, and, like, you always had trouble, like, getting shit done and, like, scheduling things, and, like, make goals that are super easy to obtain. It's kind of the concept of, like, you know, if you play a video game and you immediately put it on easy, you're pretty much guaranteed to get through the fucking game with a little issue. So it's kind of the same thing. It's like, okay, I'm gonna make a schedule for myself, but I'm not gonna be this ultra fucking, like, Soviet Union fucking Nazi about the shit. I'm gonna be, you know, open-minded, liberal, whatever the fucking, you know, start small. If you can, like, even, like, if you can make little tiny goals and then complete them, it'll make you feel good about yourself, and it'll make you want to, you know, okay, I can do this, and then you can go for more, and you can kind of see, once you get, like, a basic schedule, okay, well, how much more can I fit in here, or do I want to fit more in here? Maybe I like that there's a small goals, and at least it's giving me some direction, and then the rest of the time I really feel good about my free time, and so I feel better about doing random shit. You know, there's a lot of ways you can take it. And so, here, let's see here. Okay, this is kind of like a basic fucking thing that I kind of went through. It's just, like, not really anything crazy. But, you know, okay, I wanted one song recorded or written a week. Like, to write a song or record it takes about 3-4 hours. Between, like the initial writing process is quick, but then you gotta edit it when you're writing to, like, make the flow work. Because most of the time I just lay down the ground where I go, okay, these are the things I want to talk about. These are the kind of necessarily the rhymes, but then maybe, you know, you want some pauses here. There's too many words here, not enough words here, and it's not flowing the way you want, so you gotta edit it. And then, you know, recording a song, you know, you gotta just bit the verse a couple times, and you gotta have ad libs, and then you gotta kind of mix it. So, like, it only takes 4 hours, and if you have like 6+ hours of free time a day, like, you could probably get more than this done. But that's what I'm talking about in making the goals small. Like, you know, 3 pages of a comic or my story. Here, just for fucking visualization's sake. Let's see that here. We'll screen it. As you can see, like a story here, pages, and it kind of plays through. So like 3 of these pages. Because it's kind of a story I've been working on since I was in fucking high school, like a freshman in high school. But, you know, I have all the ideas, I know what the story's supposed to have, but, you know, you gotta actually put the work in drawing it. So, like, having a weekly goal, like, eventually, you know, 3 pages a week, I'll eventually have something to show for it. I'll be able to do more with it. But it's always about, you know, putting down that time to do it. So, 3 pages would probably take me, like I said, like, most of these goals are, like, it takes about 4 hours. So, 3 pages of a comic, another 4-hour thing. So I could probably do the song recording and like half of that in one day. And that's just if I only have 6 hours of free time. Like I could have more free time, like I could work less. You know, right now I'm working a lot, but that's just kind of how you kind of time manage it. And like you're just giving low expectation goals. Like if I have 6 hours of free time a day, I could probably do realistically, you know, 5 pages or 6 pages. And you know, I could probably record like 2 songs or write 2 songs in a day. So that kind of thing. So I've been wanting to make PvP videos and shit for like League of Legends, or I'm about to start trying to play World of Warcraft again. So like I play the game, but then I don't record the stuff because I'm like, I'm not really whatever. But like making a goal, like, okay, one day I'm gonna focus on this. So that's kind of the big thing, is like I'm focusing on that particular thing. That's what I'm gonna get done, and it provides like a checklist of, okay, this is what I want to do. That's kind of the idea of what you want to do. It's like, okay, I want to spend at least one of these days recording and shit like that to have footage. And then, you know, eventually when I have enough footage, that day that I would spend recording, I would just spend it editing and actually making the video, and then I have a product to actually show for. So all this time I'm spent playing the game actually comes to some kind of goal and fruition. So it's not just mindlessly fucking wasting my time kind of thing. Even though technically video games is wasting your time, I enjoy the creativity of making the video and editing and all that fun stuff. One day spent playing through like a playthrough game. It basically means not like an online kind of never-ending cycle game, something that has a story that I want to get through. It's a bunch of games I've bought and that I haven't beat. I don't think bought was the right word. I think it should just be bought, but fuck it. Yeah, so there's plenty of games that I've bought. Like, you know, Fallout 4 is here. Got fucking... I just got the new Call of Duty World War II, played the first campaign mission, like any one of those types of games where there's a campaign or something, that a story to complete. Like I've got these games that I just haven't beaten, that I know I want to beat, I know I enjoy, I just never... I haven't set the time aside, so as I end up playing like some fucking PvP game or playing with friends, and I don't, like, this is the point of making the schedules, like to kind of like give you like goals you need to complete. And so one day I'm gonna, you know, spend playing through a playthrough game, and then I also want to have like 4 days a week that I'm streaming. So, you know, I've been wanting to get bigger into streaming. I set up all like the layouts and shit like that, but I need to like actually do the streams. I need to stream consistently to really you know, get a viewership and keep a viewership. You know, they need to constantly see you playing shit and doing shit. And, you know, also having a variety of games you play through games, and then you have the PvP games, stuff like that. Like, I can record PvP and stream at the same time. I can also play a playthrough game and stream it. I usually tend to, you know, want to stream the playthrough games, because then you can go back and watch them and shit like that. And so as you can see here, you know, 4 days of streaming, 1 is going to be the playthrough. So I have 1 to 2 right here that are already part of this goal. So it's a multifaceted goal. And even on the comic thing, you can stream drawing, so that could be 3 right there, and they're all tied into kind of the same goal. And I could even, if I wanted to, you know, record me writing and stuff like that, or stream me writing and making the songs. So I mean, that kind of literally takes care of all those goals. And like I said, this is a small goal. Like, you want to set shit that's easily obtainable. Like, I'm already getting this goal out. It's Monday. I just started this, and this is like the first day. So I wanted to get, you know, one video thinking with Phat. So once a week I want to do something like this where I have some kind of idea, some kind of concept, because usually I'm constantly throughout the week going through shit and thinking about shit, and so this allows me to put my thoughts, because I don't really care to write down my thoughts, but at least I can go to like a YouTube video and like, oh, go through it, like, oh, what was I thinking, how did I come to this, you know, whatever. And then other people, if they're interested in my thought process or what I'm doing, they can watch it. Like, this is more of self goals more so than like doing anything specific, but like, you know, you gotta first start it before you can see what it can become. So that's kind of like, that's kind of the idea of this whole, I didn't have you see it. Well, here, you can see what I'm talking about right here. Now, one song recorded, page of comics, stuff like that. I was pointing at them, but I didn't have it up. Anyway, so like, that's kind of the point, was that, you know, you want to set small goals, and then, you know, okay, well, this thinking with Phat, maybe people are really interested in what I have to think about or what to talk about. You know, maybe after like 5 or 6 videos, people are like, oh, this is pretty cool. You don't know what's going to happen with it, but before you can see what it can be, you gotta go out there and do it. And then the last thing on the list, 4 hours of reading. I think everybody should read. You know, I got a book right fucking here that I've had this book for like what? Fucking like a year and a half or something at least. And I haven't finished it. It's like 400 something pages. I should have been able to finish this a long time ago. But if you have 4 hours of reading, I could probably read most of that book in that 4 hours if I really sat down and read it. Or at least like half of it. So like, and then I have like 3 more books in my closet that I want to read, so. And then there's a bunch of other books that I wanted to get, but if I don't finish this catalog, there's no point buying more books. And the same thing with like the playthrough games. There's other games that I want to play through that I haven't gotten yet, but it's like, I feel like I'm wasting my time and money and shit. Or not wasting time, I'm not utilizing my time properly. And I'm wasting my money buying stuff that I'm not fulfilling, even though I know I want to. That's because I think, like, if you can see with my interests, you know, fucking writing and recording music, reading, fucking drawing, fucking PvP videos, playing through games, you got streaming, there's like a lot of shit I'm trying to get done. And then on top of that, I'm going to do these videos of, you know, thinking out loud, whatever. And there's just a lot of shit I want to do. When you have so many goals, you need to kind of organize your goals. So that's kind of what I'm kind of showing here with this kind of thing, you know. So if you were somebody else, you know, make your goals small. That's the first thing I was talking about. Like 4 hours of reading. Like, first you have to assess, how much free time do I have? So here, let's make a new one here. Like, you know, you want to assess kind of like, how much free time do you have? And then you want to set your goal not to the maximum amount of free time you have, but like half of that or something. So it's like, okay, I want to start reading more. So, you know, like I said, I put 4 hours of reading. And then, you know, you might want to put some books in there. You're like, okay, well, what do I like reading? What did I used to like reading as a kid? Or what's interesting to me now? Do I want to read something, you know, just stories for fun, like kind of like watching Netflix? Or do I want to, like, educate myself? Maybe I want to, hell, you could learn a new language online. There's plenty of things. Like, reading doesn't have to be, you know, something super specific, like I got to read Stephen King. You could be like, oh, I want to read educational shit. I want to, you know, learn about quantum fucking mechanics and shit and quantum physics and whatever. So, or you just want to read about philosophers, or maybe you want to, maybe you're religious and you're a Christian, but you never read the Bible. There's reading right there. Like, there's a lot of things, and once you start reading something, you'll realize what you enjoy reading and what you want to read next. So that's a good starting goal. And then from there, you gotta figure out, like, this is something that I've noticed a lot. I ask people, like, what kind of hobbies do you have? Like, what do you like doing? What do you do in your spare time? And people they're like, oh, I don't do anything. I just kind of do nothing. It's like, that's kind of the point of this thing. It's like, everybody has free time. Nobody's sitting around working 24/7 and sleeping the rest. Like, nobody's doing that shit. Like, I see everybody has free time. It's just most of the time, like, oh, I'm just gonna drink alcohol. Oh, I'm gonna beat it and watch Netflix. Like, okay, that's cool. It's always nice to have your vices and shit like that, but you want to be bettering yourself. You want to be doing something. Like, fuck, you know, it doesn't have to be for, you know, like, you know, selfless, like, charity and stuff like that, even though those are good things to have. Like, you want to have goals. Like, what the fuck do you want to do with your life? Most people are sitting there working at a dead-end job. Like, okay, like, it's fine to work in a dead-end job, because, I mean, if you don't really care about making a bunch of money, like me, I don't really care. So that's why you see all these other things I want to do. And any of these other things could end up becoming a career. Like, the biggest booming business right now is creative shit. Like, people on YouTube, people on Twitch streaming and stuff like that. Like, these are where people are making their own entrepreneur businesses, and they're making their own brands and shit like that. And they're getting sponsorships and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of different ways that you can expand. But sitting around fucking saying, oh, I have no hobbies, like, it's just bad. Like, even if you don't want to grow and be something more than you are now, like, having hobbies and ways to, you know, properly manage your time, they'll make you feel happier. Like, are you depressed? Are you anxious and shit like that? Start making goals. Like, fuck, even if your goal is, I only want to do 4 hours of reading a week. That's it. That's the only goal you set. It's not fucking hard. Read 30 minutes a fucking day, or, you know, 40 minutes a day. You got that. Read an hour 4 days a week. You know, like, split it up, whatever. There's a lot of ways to hit these goals, and it's kind of just when I'm trying to, like, portray and shit like that. So, okay, 4 hours of reading, and then, like, okay, what kind of hobbies? Like, I talk to people that are like, oh, I used to do poetry, but I don't do it anymore because I don't have time. Like, you do have time. It's just, like, you don't sit down and, like, okay, instead of watching Netflix, instead of watching TV, okay, instead of going out with my friends for the 100th time to a bar and doing nothing, or, you know, instead of fucking sleeping 10 hours a day, or, like, whatever you're doing that's not productive, that's the time right there. Like, everybody has time. And it's like, I can go look at any person's life and I could probably shave out 10, 15 hours at least that you have time to be doing productive shit. So, like, to sit there and say, I don't have time is literally saying, you know, I'm too lazy, or I don't have the self-control to, you know, do it. It's like, it's just nonsense. People just make a lot of excuses. It's like, you should be wanting to better yourself. That's the whole point of life, is to have fun experiences and better yourself. If you're sitting in a stagnant place, same fucking, you know, shitty relationship, all this other shit, it's like, okay, you got a shitty relationship? Okay, that's some free time right there. Dump that shitty relationship. It's not going anywhere. Take that free time to reflect and get some shit done. Get some fucking reading done. You like poetry? Okay. Spend 2 hours a week on poetry. Or, you know, maybe if it's art, you could just, you know, slash art. Whatever it is you used to do. It doesn't have to be something that you're going to make money. It doesn't have to be something that's going to be productive. You could be drawing something stupid and simple. Like, I don't fucking know. You could be making stick figure battles. Or you could be drawing flowers. Or maybe you could just learn how to draw in general. Like, a lot of people I talk to, it's like, oh, I don't have a single artistic bone in my body. All I can draw is stick figures, you know? And it's like, everybody can draw, but like any talent or any skill, you have to practice it. It's like you could say, oh, I don't know how to read and write. Well, because you never fucking read and write, but you're taught in school and forced to do it, so people know. But you're not forced to do art, so of course you don't know how to do art because you never sat down and took the time. And also, like, a lot of people get disheartened. They'll look at somebody else's art. I've seen people that, like, I know as artists, and they'll look at my work. I'm like, oh, well, that's better than me, and then they get disheartened and they don't want to do artistic work. It's like, you shouldn't be looking at other people's art, and first off, comparing yourself, because all art is going to be subjective, and two, it's like, you should be looking at that as a goal. Like, okay, I want to get that good, so I need to start, you know, practicing. I need to work on my form and contrast and all this other shit. So, and like, you can find, dude, there's YouTube videos for everything. So if you want to learn how to do art, go look at my YouTube video. They'll give you some basic bullshit. There's fucking all kinds of shit. You can learn anything, and it's all at the touch of your fingers, like on your phone. You just got a phone, you got Wi-Fi, boom. You can learn anything. Someone text me? No. It's kind of like, and even if you don't like reading, even if you hate reading, dude, slash audiobooks. Boom. Bimski. I think it's actually one word. You can actually get audiobooks and they can read to you. Hell, if you have a fucking 45-minute drive to work, Put on a fucking audiobook instead of fucking listening to some garbage ass shit like Future. Fuck that. Put on an audiobook. Learn something. Like, when you say you don't have time, you do have time. You just, you just want to bullshit. It's like, the point of this kind of like, video is just to kind of like motivate you, like, hey, there's more you can do, and this is how you do it. So look at that. You got art, you got, books. Let's see, what other productive things could you possibly do? I mean, it's really up to you. You can fucking knit. You can do anything. And this is something else that you could do. It's like, maybe you're someone that's introverted. You're not social. You want to be more social. But you don't know where to start. There's a fucking 1,000 apps. Once again, everybody's got a fucking phone. You can go to Tinder, Bumble. There's social things. You can go on Facebook and find social meetings. There's fucking events that are constantly planned around. It's like, you just go pick an event. Just, even if you go there and sit there and talk to nobody, people will come to talk to you. I went to a fucking goddamn bar, literally said nothing to nobody, and I don't want to keep opening this piece of paper, but said nothing to nobody. People just come up to me. They were talking about my art. They were asking, oh, hey, how are you? Like, you could just literally go to a bar and sit there and not talk to a single person. People just come up to you. Go to a bar and whip out a book. People come up and ask you what you're reading, and then you'll engage in a conversation. It's like, if you're looking at me, people, the first step, get the hell out your comfort zones. You're not going to find people in your house. I mean, you might find them on Tinder, but eventually at some point, you're going to have to stop texting them and go somewhere. So, or if you're just looking to meet friends, like, go somewhere where people like, okay, I like anime. There's fucking anime conventions every fucking where. There's online fucking like discussions about anime and bullshit. Like, if that's what your thing is, go do it. I guarantee you there's Facebook groups based on this shit, and I guarantee you they're in your area. They're fucking everywhere. People of all diverse interests are everywhere. Whatever the fuck you're into, you're gonna find somebody. So like, devote what? So let's say 3 hours a week. How am I doing here? 3 hours a week to like going out. So like, even if you're just researching, like, okay, I'm spending 3 hours just fucking swiping left and right in Tinder, whatever it is, at least it's you're starting something. It's a start. Hell, you can just fucking swipe and then talk to people and never fucking go meet them, and then that's a little bit of social interaction. You've made one step, and then eventually like, hey, why don't I try meeting one of these guys? And you go meet them, and that's how these things evolve. And so like. 3 hours a week being social. And these are all small goals. Like, look, this is like 3 days out of your week, and all 3 of them you're going to be doing something productive, something you hopefully want to do. Or maybe, you might not want to do it initially, but you do it for a week or a couple of weeks. Like, if you're going to do this, try it for a month. Set up some simple goals and do it for a month and actually follow through with it 100%. Not some half-ass shit like you do when you make a fucking diet. You're like, oh, I'm doing a diet, and then 3 days in you're at fucking McDonald's getting a 20-piece chicken fucking McNugget. Alright? You have to actually, if you're going to set something, you have to actually follow through with it for a consistent amount of time. You have to set yourself in a pattern, a habit. Once you're in a habit of it, it'll feel more comfortable to you. The problem is you're not in a habitual setting to do any of this shit, so you're just like, oh, well, it's not going to be motivated. Well, this shit's a lot easier than working out or fucking eating right. This shit's much fucking easier. So, hell, maybe this is the start of you working out. Maybe you can down here, 30 minutes exercise. And the 30 minutes could be simple. Walk around your fucking block 3 times. Something simple. Hell, you could listen to an audiobook while walking around the fucking block. You just got 2 of your goals done. Look at that. Being productive. And you're getting multiple shit done. See what I said about going to a bar and a drawing? Go to a bar, start learning how to start doing some drawing and shit. People come up to you. Now you're getting the social out the way too. That's kind of the idea, is to like, once you start doing this stuff, you can start putting it together. You can start like, you'll feel better about yourself. Once you start getting some of this shit done, you'll feel good. You'll want to do it. The first step is to make a schedule that you want to do. And so like right now, with my goals, it's like, maybe I want to add like the exercise and maybe being social and shit like that. But that's the thing about it. It's like I want to start small. Like, these are the most important things to me at the moment. Like, Right now, I'm not really caring about being social. I'm not really caring, like, exercise. I'm kind of exercising in my room a little bit, and, you know, I'm starting to, like, go outdoors, and, like, I'm doing the reading out, you know, out my front porch and shit like that. So, like, slowly getting myself into these routines of doing shit. Eventually, I'll probably have, you know, drawing more pages, or, you know, I'm gonna add being social in here. Like, okay, I want to, you know, once a week go out. Eventually, I want to have golf in here, or maybe I'm golfing like twice a month or something. You know, I want to have the funds to golf, because golf does cost money. But, like, those are other things that I could add. Like, this goal list could be more, till eventually, like, my free time is actually always spent doing something productive. And the good thing about it being a weekly goal, hell, you could even do a monthly goal. Like, weekly is just pretty, like, it's more, a monthly goal, I don't like it, because, like, if you're going to start weekly, and then maybe have a monthly goal when you expand to so many things, that it's hard that you're not fitting, like, certain things in every week, but you could fit the totality of it in a month, and certain other weeks, something like that, you know. But, like, once you start small, you get into it, eventually you're going to use all your time doing, like, important things. Like, you're like, okay, like, I was reading for 4 hours, and I just kept reading, and then I ended up spending 6 hours one day reading, or something like that. Or maybe I read 2 or 3 different times and added up to more than I was doing. Then you could, like, up this and be like, oh, well, I like reading, it's really enjoying, so I make that 6 hours. Or, you know, you really are getting into art and stuff like that, and suddenly you start spending, you know, 5 hours a fucking week on poetry and art, and then it keeps exponentially thinking, and then you start finding interests. If you have no interest, if you're just the most bland and boring person everywhere, just pick up something random. Poetry, super fucking easy to do. Write a fucking haiku. Not hard. Very easy concept. Art. Art can be fucking anything. You can literally draw abstract shit. Just throw paint on a goddamn canvas and be like, the red represents my anger, the blue represents my sorrow, the yellow represents the sun that I'm not going out and seeing. Crazy shit. So, I mean, that's pretty much the basis of it. Like, if you want to start organizing your life, you really want to start getting things done, first step is making goals. And the problem, you don't want to make long-term goals. The problem with long-term goals is they're usually long-term goals. You don't want to make long-term goals based on your current standing. So, like, if your long-term goal is to own a business, but you don't even have your business, you know, degree yet, like, that's a good long-term goal, but you shouldn't just set the I want to own a business as a goal, because that's what a lot of people do. They skip right to the end. They're like, okay, I want to own the business. Like, okay, there's like 100 steps before you ever fucking get there. So you need to make quick, attainable goals. Like, you need to have like short-term and mid-term goals. Like, okay, I want to have these weekly goals. Then maybe set some monthly goals, or maybe tri-monthly goals where every 3 months, you know, I need to have this much done, or, you know, okay, I want to own a business. Okay, reading books. You need to read business books. So go look up good business books and start making a list of, like, this is what I need to read. These are good books. If I'm going to own and really be an entrepreneur, these are good recommended books. I want to be my own clinical psychologist and have my own, you know, practice. Okay, go read books, because, you know what, like, in this day and age, like, a degree is nothing. Like, if you go out there and you're really like, okay, you know, I have this degree, I have all this extra literature I've read, you know, I did these certain social aspects where I was helping people, maybe at a local place, or, like, I don't know, like a charity, or not a charity, but like your local church or something, where you're sitting down and you're helping people out and that kind of thing. Like, that could help you. That could be a boon. That could be like, okay, this guy's doing more. This guy's really out there, and then people give you a chance at their practice. You work at a practice a while, you build up, then you can start your own practice. Like, you can see how these things kind of evolve. So, like, the first thing, set some weekly goals. This is what I want to get done. These are things that are going to better me. Exercise, good for anybody. You know, you need like 30 minutes an hour exercise. Like, if you exercise like 3 or 4 times a week, like, you don't need to be something big. Like I said, walk around the fucking block. Just getting out, getting some sun, getting that fucking vitamin D. Like, it's just little things. I know I'm the last person to talk about getting sun because I'm pale as a motherfucker, but I'm trying to change that, right? Make change with me. We're doing it big, guys. But yeah, so I mean, that's how you're gonna get the goals that you want. You have to set these small goals. It's like, it's cool to have like your long-term goals. It's cool to have your dreams, but make sure you have, you know, weekly goals, monthly goals, like I was saying, like short and mid-term goals. so till you can make that a reality, because you're not going to get there overnight, you're not going to get there in a week, you're not going to get there in a couple of years. Like something like owning a business, that's a 10-15 year plan. Like, how many people do you really know that own a business that are young? It's like a handful of people. The odds of you being them, not likely. And even then, I guarantee you a lot of these people were building their way up to that. They were researching things, they were understanding new ideas. Maybe you need to add in here hour to think. Maybe that hour to think is sitting here watching these videos and thinking, or maybe the hour after you watch a video, think on it. Like, okay, how can I apply this? That's something people never do. They never sit down, turn the TV off, turn the fucking phone off, turn the fucking goddamn computer off, and just think, like, what can I be doing? How can I be better at myself? What do I want out of life? These are questions nobody asks. Like, if I go to a person and ask them, what do you want out of life? Every single person should be able to answer that. You should at least have a couple basic things, like somebody like, oh, I want to be a mom and a kid and a husband. Okay, well, you're not going to be a mom and a kid and a husband, but just being a fucking female that's looking for a guy and wanting to get pregnant. Like, because no guy's like, oh man, I just want to marry a girl that wants to get pregnant and have a kid. Like, no, you're going to have more. You're going to have to have something that that person wants to invest in. So if you don't have any, like, personality, you don't have any hobbies, like, I talk to guys all the time, like, yeah, she's fun to have sex with or whatever, but there's just nothing there. Like, if men are being unfaithful to you, it's because you have nothing to fucking bargain. Like, sorry to tell you this, but marriage and all that shit, that's a bargaining thing. Like, they're giving up something, it's sacrifice on both ends. They're sacrificing their time to invest in you. If you have nothing there, because all you do is drink and fucking, you know, worry about what you look like, okay, great. You're a great lay. How long are people really having sex? Up to 30 minutes if you're really fucking good? What the fuck are you doing with the rest of the time? You gotta sit with this person, talk with this person, go hang out with this person. Oh, they have no interest. They can't decide what they fucking want to eat. They can't decide what they want to fucking do, but they're gonna sit there and bitch about, oh, we never do anything. We never go anywhere. You never make decisions. And it's like, you're your own problem. It's like, you need to figure out what your target is, and then you need to understand, how can I get that, and what is the best way I get it, not just the way I can make do. Because you can't sit there and fucking complain that you half-assed it and then you didn't get an A. Like, you sit there and you give out no effort, you're gonna get a fucking D. Get the joke there? You're gonna fucking half-ass it, you're only gonna get the dick. Alright, well, I think I've kind of expanded as much as I want on this topic. It's a pretty decent length video, and there's a lot to think on, so hopefully people are interested in this, and let me know what you think.